So I was doing something else, but I need to adjust the tracking anyway, so I'm just going to do a quick and dirty this is how kind of video. Yeah, this is only because my steering wheel pulls slightly to the left, or I have to steer slightly to the left, so it's pulling to the right. Yeah, that one. So I'm just going to adjust the tracking. I've put new suspension on this anyway, and it's adjusted the toe, so it was towing in massively, so I was just kind of working that out. So yeah, this is just going to be a quick how to, where are the bolts kind of thing. Not the sort of thing you should do if you're not completely confident in doing it. You don't want your track rod ends to fall off or end up really screwing up the tracking, because then it will handle like dirt. But yeah, if you want to do it, this is how. So first step, obviously jack the car up, take the wheel off. Dead simple. You watch, I said dead simple, it will not go simply. I have already cracked these off, so don't panic. My fingers when you take the wheel off. Seen a very good friend of mine nearly break his finger in half, dropping a wheel and catching it between the hub and the wheel. So with the wheel off, you can see this is the control arm that's all adjusted on. These threads here are, these threads, there aren't many of them, these threads here are where you adjust it from. So you loosen this nut off, rotate this whole thing either in or out, and that will adjust the angle here either in or out. So mine's currently in, so I need to pull it out, so that means that that needs to be further in to pull this end in and push that end out, and that's how you adjust the toe out. So I'm going to do that. So the tools for this one, you need a 19 for that one, and then you need a 13 for the actual bar itself, but I would recommend having two 13s and a hammer, for reasons I will show you in a bit. This is going to take a little bit of jiggery because those threads aren't great, so I'm going to just kind of clean them up as I go. But yeah, basically the reason behind the two 13s is I tend to put two on the bar, lock it off against something to hold it still, and then you can rotate, or like hit this and rotate stuff, but that's only if shit's seized. We'll see. I'll try and film as much of this as I can without getting in my own way. I'm just going to use a wire brush to clean the threads off a little bit. I did this the first time I did the adjustment anyway, and I've done a couple of times since, just because it's good to keep everything clean. Yeah, just clear out any of the threads that might be clogged up with dirt and brake dust and road grit and whatever else. And that'll be fine. And then this one here, yeah, or don't, it's up to you. There you go. And then I'm going to just try a little love tap with the hammer, and that is now fucking now when. There you go. Yeah, that's now loose. See how it's moving independently from this. So because this is kind of, yeah, gunked up a little bit, I'm going to actually adjust it the wrong way just to clear the threads out, put some WD-40 on and work the nut back in, maybe a half turn or 3/4 turn further than where it was, just to wind it in, because I don't think it's going to go otherwise. Yeah, we'll do that, we'll see how that goes. The other thing as well is there's a boot right inside here. Just spray some WD-40 on it so that clip doesn't tear the boot, so it just spins around. Is that a pain in the arse to replace? I think that's just the working WD-40, we're about to find out. Yeah, there you go. Jam some hop in there and a bit on there. And then, yeah, let's rotate this. So this is effectively adjusting it the wrong way. But what I'm trying to do is open it out a bit so I've got room to back this nut back so I can then clean the threads the other side a bit. It all makes sense, I swear. Yeah, see, this was what happened on the other side. You got to kind of lock it off against something. What did I use on the other side? I think it was this bar here. Like one spanner up here. Yeah, like one there, stopping it going up, and then one underneath it, stopping it going down. No, that's not what I said. Yeah, there you go. It's a little bit finicky, but found that the most reliable method of then being able to hit this maybe once. Come on. There you go. Yeah, until they fall off. But it's fine, we'll just keep doing that. This might be a bit hard to film with one hand, but this is the way I do it. Put the spanner on there, it will hit against the subframe there and the lower arm there. So it will stop it at that point, and then you can get 19 onto the, just swap hands, you get the 19 onto this nut here, and you can kind of work it back and forth just to loosen it off. Heaps of WD-40. Eventually that spanner will fall off, you just put it back on, and you carry on. Just remember where you started from, and adjust it to where you need it. There you go. The other way is putting both spanners on, so you have one hitting the top, one hitting the bottom. It works okay, but then there's two times as many spanners to fall out every time you move this thing back and forth. What mine tend to do is catapult themselves into that oil-filled catch tray down there. So yeah, maybe only do that if you've got patience. Ha! Patience. There you go, that's done now. It's slightly further in than it was. We should tow out slightly. It's the sort of thing that if you're doing it at home and you haven't got all the laser equipment or tow plates or whatever, the only way you'll know is just drive it. So yeah, it's a bit of a trial and error. Jump in, have a drive, see if it's still pulling, adjust it if needs be. The other thing to check is tyre pressures, because they can make your car pull one way or the other, so don't jump straight to this unless you know it's this. But if you do, and you want to do it, that's how you do it. Obviously put the wheel back on before you drive it, probably helps. There you go, nice one.